Okay, so now, does anybody remember the rapper Tupac?
Oh yeah.
Of
Who
course.
doesn't?
Okay. I know there's some young people in this. There's a particular young person in this call, so I wasn't sure if she was up on Tupac. But Tupac died about 19 years ago. He died in 1996, so just about 20 years ago. And
Allegedly.
right. He was a fantastic MC, just a all around talented young man, and he was somebody that I personally was inspired by, and he's one of my favorite MCs of all time. I think you could put him on the Mount Rushmore of MCs. I wouldn't be mad if you put him on that Mount
I'd
Rushmore.
be mad if you didn't.
Seriously.
He was definitely one of a kind. Well, some new information about Tupac recently came out, and we have a news clip. I'm gonna play the news clip, and then I'm gonna talk to you guys about it. All right, here we go.
In shocking revelations by a dying police officer who claims he's part of the whole cover-up of the death of the rapper Tupac Shakur. The police officer David Myers has claimed that he indeed had got money to cover up the death of Tupac Shakur, who's actually alive and is in tragic shootout. The man was not dead but alive. This is shocking, and fans are in a state of confusion as to what to believe and what not to believe. If that is the truth, Tupac will be like 44 years old. But the whole controversy will erupt that why did the rapper Tupac Shakur did this when he was on the peak of his career and was even getting roles in Hollywood for acting. The mystery is mysterious, as Tupac was most beloved and rappers of this genre still remember and shout out to him. Then why the fake death?
All right, so back in 1996, it didn't take long before people started to say that they didn't believe that Tupac was actually dead. Much like you hear stories about Elvis supposedly still being alive, you hear that Tupac wasn't dead. And I'm gonna start off with you, Ramsey. When was the first time you think that you heard this rumor supposedly that Tupac wasn't dead? When was the first time you can recall?
I initially didn't believe he was dead.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I remember the news reports. And the last reports was that he went from critical to stable. Mm-hmm. And the next day they said he died.
Right. I remember that.
You know, so the reason why I remember so vividly, because I was like, oh God, he gonna come out with another album. You know, y'all shot me again and I'm still here. You know, so initially I didn't think he was dead. And then there was some other things that happened that kind of fueled that for me even more. One being that when his mother had control over his music, they released a music video. I can never remember the song, but it's a music video where we're watching things through Tupac eyes, and we see him flown out of the hospital.
I ain't mad at you.
Yeah, you know, and I was like, now if you're sitting here and you're just telling people that he's dead, why would you okay this video?
Right.
You know, and it has been removed from the internet, but Trench, who was one of his best friends and the only person to write a tribute song to him, once said at a club that it was like in the heat of the moment, he's like, well, Tupac ain't dead, we can't tell y'all where he at because the feds are watching.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, wow, you know, I listened to that. But then the thing that made me believe Tupac was dead is when I heard Soulja Boy. When I heard Soulja Boy and no response from Tupac, I was like, yeah, he dead. So, yeah. But no, initially I didn't think he was dead. I initially thought that his mother was like, okay, that's enough. You know, and you know, I think that she just was like, that's enough. You've done enough.
Well, you know, there was there's a couple of things that I've been like looking at lately, and I've seen these over the years. You know, they have these supposed spottings, you know, or you look at some video and there's like a shady character in the background. If you brighten it up, it's Tupac chilling in the background. looking
Yeah.
like Tupac from 1996. You know, I'm thinking if you're trying to hide, you're not gonna have the same look, right? You're gonna have dreadlocks, baby, or a long beard or something. But the way that all these images that's supposed to be of him, they look like him from '96. It doesn't look like a older Tupac, if you will.
Right.
Also, too, I don't know. Have you heard of this rapper named Casanova the Don?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's this guy from Atlanta who he puts out these albums, and he sounds just like Tupac.
Right. Yeah.
And some people believe he's a front man for Tupac. Like, he puts out music through this guy, and that's like his way of still being relevant, because the guy sounds like him, and he sounds just like him. I've seen him do interviews. I mean, I've heard him do interviews where he's just saying, that's just the way I sound and stuff like that. But I don't know if that guy Casanova is actually Tupac's proxy or something like that, you know? So that just seems kind of funny.
You know, they always say the best place to hide is in plain sight.
That's true.
Well, true, but again, first of all, if I'm remembering correct, Pac didn't have any issues with the law at the time. If it was taxes, and that was just money. Mm-hmm. So I think it's only a crime, and I may be wrong, but it's only a crime to fake your death if you benefit from it financially.
Right. Which
he hasn't, So that the thing that gets me is again, that's why it goes back to, I just think that his mom, again, you remember what we're talking about. We're not talking about a typical mother here.
Right.
We're talking about a former Black Panther member,
Right.
So I can see her saying the first time he got shot, okay, one more time and you're done with this. I mean, this was not a mother where Tupac started making money and she just fell back and said, "You take care of me for the rest of your life." That's, if you ever heard a interview with her, you see that.
Right.
She's very protective of her baby, of her children. So again, I can see her walking in that, seeing him, in that hospital bed and going, "Okay, this is it. You've done enough." Mm-hmm. But again, they're Soldier Boy, so.
so Shay, I mean, what do you think about this idea of Tupac being alive? And then also too, let's just say, I'm gonna throw this out to you first, Shay. Let's just say he's alive and he decides to make a comeback. How much do you think reincarnated 44-year-old Tupac would have in the tank, and what do you think that would mean into society? But
a lot compared to the other BS rappers out there today.
Amen, sister. Amen.
So you're saying you're not a fan?
Wouldn't he be the biggest celebrity on the planet?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would think so. What? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He would first have to explain why he did what he did.
Mm-hmm. And that interview's gonna make a ton of money.
Right.
Well, back up. He doesn't have to do anything. A lot of people would like to know, but it's not necessarily he's going to be forced the issue. If he doesn't want to talk about why he did what he did, that's his, prerogative. Nobody should have to force him into saying why he did something.
No,
if he's ready, he'll let people know.
But it's been like 20-something years, though.
It doesn't matter.
The point that I'm making is the amount of passion and emotion that was poured into his loss. Mm-hmm. That an explanation would be demanded.
Would be demanded, but it doesn't necessarily mean he's going to give one.
Well, and if he didn't, then I don't think. I mean, yes, you know what Kente was saying about he's be the biggest celebrity on the. He would either be the biggest celebrity or he'd be the biggest goat. I mean, there would be no middle. He could not just come in. I'm just gonna start hanging out and going to. No, he'd have to answer some questions.
Yeah, no, he'd have to give. Yeah, he'd have to give some some explanation, because he's been gone almost 20 years, and he had 20 years ago he had so many fans. I mean, I listened to his music. I mean, I like it. It was good, but I'm not a big rap listener. It's like I'm country, but if like Elvis comes back and I was like, hey guys, I'm sorry, I'm not really dead. At first I'm gonna be pissed. It's like, why the hell did you do that? And the same thing I think with Tupac. He'd have to explain why he did what he did and hope that his fans would, I think if he came back, it'd be too difficult for him to come back, or maybe not. I could be wrong, but I know there'd probably be a lot of people pissed because he was gone for so long.
Well, I don't know why everybody insists Elvis is dead. Didn't y'all see Men in Black? Elvis just went home.
Well,
I know he's not dead. I seen him last week.
See. Well, but in all seriousness, yes, an explanation would be demanded, and knowing what the guy used to be, he'd probably give one, but expecting an explanation right off the bat, it's just not something that would probably happen. He probably left for reasons unknown. Maybe he found out he was getting ready to start a family and he wanted to pull out of it for that reason. Maybe he felt things were getting too intense and he wanted to pull out for that reason. Maybe he was protecting somebody. We don't know. We're probably never going to know, and unless for some reason he's still alive and he decides to come out and tell everybody. But until then, there's nothing you can do. All you can do is speculate, and if the greatest thing in the world happens and he turns out to be alive, all I'm saying is, for certain reasons, don't expect too much.
And how do you know that this person who came forward and said
is
that
actually him?
Well, no, that said that he was paid, was paid a bunch of money to help fake his death. This guy's in critical condition. I think he's not going to survive. How else to get, your 15 minutes of fame before you're gone? Just like going, hey, I got paid. Can they prove that he got paid the money? Or whatever. I
would like to believe, though, if someone's on their way out, they won't be lying. They trying to get right with God, right?
Right.
Not necessarily.
It depends on why I'm dying. I may try to stick y'all one before I go.
That's the unfortunate truth about that, too.
And it also depends on the people that's hanging around when you say it, too. Because I know quite a few people who would say some stupid-ass shit just to get their last 15 minutes of fame and just to troll a friend or two and go, I was hiding this from you, ha, what are you going to do about it? I got you. And then their last breath is, aha, I got you, and then beep.
I can see myself announcing I killed JFK right before I
die. he was an infant on the grassy knoll.
And this is what I'm talking about.
But
you don't suspect that 5 minutes of fame.
But you know what the sad thing about that is, for some people can actually get away with that because the society that we live in, especially society today, will eat that shit up.
That's right.
I think I'm going to hold out, and right before I go, I'm just going to say, I know where Jimmy Hoffa's buried. He's right behind the...
Well, you know what?
If God forbid, but if I'm ever on death row, that's the one I'm gonna hold on to. Right there.
Lord.
Do you have any last words before we throw the switch? I know what Jimmy.
Wait! Don't throw it! Click! Oh!
Somebody give him a reprieve. Call the governor.
Now I'll say this though. A reason why he could very well have done this. There's a book written by this author named John Potash, and it's called The FBI's War on Tupac Shakur and Other Black Leaders. And in this book, it talks about the FBI attempting to try to kill him and other people. And this is very, very interesting. I would love to chat with that author, but it really, it details some things that happened, and so that could have been one of the issues. So that's definitely something to think about. So he might.
Again, if he's alive, I don't think it was his decision.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't see for two reasons. Number one, and yes, I'm a big Tupac fan. Big, huge Tupac fan. I mean, I miss him like family. for two reasons that I don't think it was his decision. Number one, Tupac was never the type to sway away from a confrontation. And number two, what music meant to him. Like I said that Soulja Boy thing, and I say it in a joking way, but I'm being extremely sincere. You know, there's no way in hell if Tupac is on planet Earth where rap music is going down. I mean, unless they got him chained down somewhere.
Right.
No, he'd have to come back and speak up. You know, that's you know, that's why I'm saying, yeah, he got to be gone. He has to be gone.